Hey guys, I'm Greg. This is Greg's Beer Review. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Alright guys, today's beer is Hardcore IPA. It is an American Double Imperial IPA. Comes in at 9.2%. It is brewed by Brewdog Limited out of United Kingdom, Scotland. The bottle says it is Explicit Imperial Ale. Well, let's get the top off of it and see what it smells and tastes like. Alright, let's get it into the glass here. The glass they recommend for this type of beer is the Snifter, the Tulip, or the oversized wine glass. That pours a darker, almost a brown color there. It's not amber at all. It's not golden. You cannot see through it. It's got a slight red tint to it, but it's more brown than anything else. About a half a finger of head there. The bubbles, you can see through the glass. Carbonation is just racing to the top there. It's got a lot of bubbles coming up out of the glass there. Well, let's give it a smell and see what it smells like. A ton of hop frontage on the nose there. It has really got a big hop characteristic. A lot of citrusy hops. That's like putting your face down into a big batch of hops. There's some grapefruit and some pine in there. Lacing on the glass looks pretty impressive. It's wherever it touches, it leaves a nice ring on there. So let's give it a taste and see what it tastes like. This is a pretty big beer. It's not super strong on the alcohol notes, but it's when you first take your first sip, you get the impression that it's a stronger beer, but it doesn't leave a burn, too much of a burn in your throat or anything. So it's really surprising. I expect it to be more bitter than this. For a 9.2% beer, it's really not that strong. Maybe if that was the first beer of the day or something like that, if you weren't used to it, it may seem rather strong. But someone as myself that likes a good IPA, it's really not that bad. Most of the IPAs are around the 6 to 7%, unless they're double IPAs such as this one. But that is a really good tasting beer. A lot of good malts in there. Well, I'm gonna sip on it, and I'll be back shortly with the final chug and thoughts. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. This has been a really good beer. I've enjoyed this beer. The food pairings of this cuisine is the usual for an IPA. It's the barbecue. The cheeses would be Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blue, cheddar. You know, your more pungent cheeses, the gorgonzola, the Limburger. The meat would be a gamey meat or grilled meat or a salmon, something that's got a lot of flavor or spicy to it. And it's a pretty good beer. I've really enjoyed this beer. It is a 9.2% beer, so it's not for the faint of heart, but it's a really good beer. Well, I'm going to do the final chug here and give it a grade. That's a really good beer. If it's available in your area, you ought to give it a try, especially if you like an IPA or a double IPA. It is a great beer. According to Rate Beer, the Beer Advocate, they say this beer is no longer brewed, it was retired, but as you can see right there it is in the bottle. The label that they show on the internet is a little different than what's on the bottle here, but it is definitely available and not retired. Maybe that label is retired and not the beer, so I'm not exactly sure. This beer can be cellared for longer times if you cellar it, like I said, between the 40 to 45 or the 45 to 50 degree range, somewhere in that area. You'd want to cellar it for under 50 degrees. The serving temperature of this is between 50 and 55. But it's a great beer. I would have to give it at least a 94 on the scale today. If you've had it, leave a comment, tell me what you thought about it. Subscribe. If you haven't had it, try to get it and give it a try. And that's it for today, and we'll see you on the next beer review.